We're going to get straight on into this best of 3. Let's start things off.
Yes, indeed. Alright, so let me just do the standard stuff here. Let's see here. Is that right? No. There. Alright, cool. Now, yes, fine. I'm ready. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, to start this series up, at the top and left corner, we have the player JonnyREcco, which I have casted a couple of times before. You have also casted him a bunch of times because you share the same country as he does.
Yeah, man.
And fighting him at the bottom of the map, we have the awesome Protoss player Adonminus, who did really, really well yesterday.
Yeah, he did really well yesterday. It was like he is the current SC2 Improved Winter League champion. So he won last year, and I mean he's back to defend his title. He tried to come back and defend his title by winning the Summer League, but it didn't quite work out for him when he got knocked out in round of 8. So here he is again, and it's kind of weird because this group is so tough, and it'd be so weird to lose Adonminus in the round of 16 of a tournament because we've just never seen him drop out that early before. So it's kind of amazing just how crazy this group is, and well, we're gonna have a nice long game to start us off here, I think, because JonnyREcco opens hatch first, Adonminus is gonna open Nexus first, and they are in cross positions on the largest map we've probably ever had in the map. Cool. All
right, and for you guys, the TeamSpeak is sorry not that good. Skype is
it's my connection.
It's fine, yeah. So it's actually Wardy who is transmitting his stream from a potato. So there's that.
Pretty much. Hopefully it should get better in the next. It goes on and off like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's bad. Then all of a sudden it's good.
Now your video disappeared. So there's that.
Yeah. I turned my a little bit.
All right. Yeah, they don't actually see that, so that's fine.
Fair enough. So this map is crazy, and I mean we've got a free hatch before pool and a gas before pool from JonnyREcco. So I mean this map just allows you to play greedy, and I mean you can see it on Nexus first into a gateway. Both these players are going to play greedy here. Honestly this map is really good for Protoss players because you've got so much room, so much space to kind of harass with warp prisms. The bases are fairly well spread out, so harassment is really strong, and it's quite hard for the Zerg player to really set up a container on you with swarm hosts. It's very difficult for them to stop being surrounded, for example, if they do that. So, everyone initially says, hey, this is a great map for Zerg. It's a very large map, but really it's also pretty awesome for Protoss and ZVP.
Yes, it is. The thing is, due to its size, it really comes down to the really quick units at the beginning. Sure, you can bunker up in your base, but you're gonna lose so much map control. So, it wouldn't surprise me if Adonminus actually goes directly for Phoenixes just to get some harassment done and do a lot of scouting with them.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, again. Oh, did you get that last?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Then that's okay. We've got 3 queens on the way out, which is pretty cool. See 3 queens at once, not something you see every day, but again, this is the way things go, like this speed, which he's going to get that link speed up nice and quickly to get rolling here and scouting and just take a little.
Yes, indeed, and I think we missed the last part of the what Wardy actually said, but yes, it's gonna be a Stargate going out here directly from Adonminus, whereas JonnyREcco goes for a pretty standard. I love the fact that she pointed out that he has a lot of queens, which are there to actually be a fair good of defense when the air forces arrive. But there's going to be a while for that, and this probe is actually going to be detected by the Zerg, which is good, so no pylons for you. And see here, alright, so the Stargate is actually built right now, and instead of Phoenixes, I was wrong, I'm sorry Wardy, it is actually Oracles.
Yeah, it's going to be an Oracle, which is, honestly interesting, because on this larger map, like, I just think Phoenix to be the better option. I mean, it's going to take a long time for the Oracle to get over there, and once the Oracle's there, I mean, Queens fare fairly well against an Oracle, and oh my god, wow, we actually see a fleet beacon coming down, as well as the second Stargate. Adonminus is just, I just have to say, Adonminus is this player who will do crazy things, and you can see this already. I'm pretty sure this has to be for carriers. This is something he's done previously in SC2 Improve events, and I mean, wow, who would have thought he was going to bring this out? I actually kind of forgot that he did this kind of stuff.
Yeah, the Zerglings discovered the Oracle pretty quickly, and I was going, on in JonnyREcco's mind. He's like, all right, I've stopped the Oracle, I built my spore crawlers, cool. Then now I can just, macro up in peace and stuff like that, and then suddenly, bam, carriers.
This Oracle gets turned away very, very quickly, doesn't even use any energy, and took a lot of damage, down on 40 HP. We actually saw Adonminus yesterday lose his Oracles very early, and without doing much damage, so that was a little bit of a weak point in his playstyle yesterday. As JonnyREcco, he continued to poke up the front, trying to get whatever information he can, but the fact of the matter is he doesn't really have overlords which can get into the base right now. The one at the natural is blocked by a stalker. The one to the left of the main, if it comes forward, it's not going to see anything crazy because of the position of the fleet beacon and the second Stargate. So, maybe you could see the Stargate, but I'm pretty sure Adonminus would warp in a couple of stalkers and get rid of that in plenty of time, because it's, his Stargate's fairly well into the main base.
Yes, and more carriers are just pouring out now from Adonminus. It's amazing how much you can do just by populating these two bases. It's got a really good economy here. Still, JonnyREcco has 3 bases going, and had actually taken a 4th right now, which is a really good choice. But he's going to need to react really, really quickly, because as soon as those carriers move out, he needs to stop them right away.
Yeah, I mean, he still doesn't really have any vision. He doesn't have any clue that carries on the way. He is going for Hydra's Den, which, is a good start. He's going basically for Ling Hydra here. And, this is a good start for him, as JonnyREcco is going to look to try and do a little bit of damage on this third base, but can't even get a pylon, turned away by Mothership Core and that Oracle. And a few Zealots warping in for Adonminus. Considering he's building Mass Carrier, he's going to have a lot of kind of 3 minerals to warp in Zealots to kind of tank on the ground. We actually do see some Roaches coming out for JonnyREcco, but they're really not going to be that useful. And a Spire coming down as well, most likely going to look for a Mutilus transition at some point in the near future. But as it stands, I mean, I don't know how well the Mutilus transition actually fares against Mass Carrier.
Oh man, and Mass Carriers and the actual Roaches are moving out right now. This is going to be a surprise. This is a really big surprise. I say it was lucky that he actually built that Spire this quickly, but he needs to amass some really good air defense, because carriers are not easy to take out, not for Zerg. You can't just go forth with the Hydras and shoot them down, because the Inceptors do so much damage.
Yeah, most definitely. One thing that you'll probably need in this game is going to be some Infestors to get some fungal growth down. That's one way of really shutting down the Interceptors nice and quickly. JonnyREcco playing this out really well so far, though. I mean, he's taking bases to the top and to the left, which means, he's getting multiple bases down, and he's going to get a lot of gas income. And if one gets picked off, then it's not so important, because, he's already got another one there. So he's doing that at the same time, spreading his lings around the map. The top right is covered by a couple of lings. Down the bottom side of the map, there's a few lings spread out. So he's got a high percentage chance of spotting any warp prism which comes across the map. And in general, he'll spot any kind of weird hidden bases that Adonminus will try and get away with.
Yes, and still the carriers are not discovered at all.
Yeah, he might see them now. His Zerglings have went forward, and now he knows carriers are here. And he has an infestation pit on the way down. He starts 11 corruptors, and he builds a second Spire too. So straight away here, JonnyREcco reacting to this, and he continues to build drones. And I actually really like this, because he's going to want to build some kind of anti-air defense with spore crawlers, I think, around his bases. So building up a lot more drones now, so that when he builds that static defense, he still has a good economy, is definitely going to be a good decision. Continuing to spread his creep as well, though I don't think that's going to be the most problematic thing for Adonminus in this game, when he's basically a heavy air army. That might stop his retreat a little bit. And wow, 3 base Adonminus here, going to look to take a 4th soon, clearing out his 4th base of Zerglings. And there's that 4th base on the way up right now. So Adonminus is, I like to say, he's in a pretty good position here. I mean, he's got mass carriers. The question is, how effective is Mass Carrier going to be? JonnyREcco, he's starting to build up what he thinks is the response to this, which is Corruptors, air upgrades, and an infestation pit, which is right now yet to be used.
Yes, it's looking to be quite a long game, if I may say so myself. It's like, all right, settle up, boys. We're gonna go through this. We just need to build 16 carriers, a bunch of void rays, some phoenixes, and we're gonna have a
void rays at a time.
Wow.
This is why he really needs some fungal growths, because if he can land some fungals on the army, that splash damage is just kind of unparalleled. He does move down here, and he's going to try and pick off this 4th base. Now, there's a lot of lings here. These zealots aren't going to last too long, and yeah, Adonminus is going to have to cancel that. He can't really... Well, I'm surprised he doesn't try to move over there, but, he doesn't know how much anti-air there is, and honestly, there is a lot of Corruptors here, and JonnyREcco's looking to move forward. I'm not sure how successful he would actually be if he was to chase forward into these carriers.
A bit of a small engagement here, but luckily the Corruptors are really, really tough, but they're actually dropping quickly than I thought.
Well, the Void Rays are actually going down pretty quick just because of the sheer number of Corruptors, and honestly, he gets out of there, and, he's lost 10 Corruptors, he took down 4 Void Rays. Was it worthwhile? I don't really think so. He didn't really kill anything. Especially not any carriers, and he lost 10 Corruptors. Now, the thing is, he can afford to trade, maybe not necessarily effectively. He can afford to trade like a little bit badly here because he's got 5 bases already, and he's denying the 4th base of his opponent. So that's going to be a key kind of factor here. Denying his opponent's bases while continuing to expand himself so that he can trade against this very cost-efficient army.
Yeah, 15 more Corruptors coming out. The actual mass of units that both players are having here is so amazing. They're producing units at so fast pace, so they're actually replenishing at the same time they're losing them, which is so cool. But we have one maxed Zerg army against a non-maxed Protoss army.
Continuing to build lings here is quite interesting to me. I'm pretty sure it's just because he wants to continue to deny this base, and I think he's saying, the carriers, they can't kill the lings fast enough, but I think Adonminus, now he's added on a lot more cannons, it's going to be much more difficult for JonnyREcco to fight this well. He's coming in once again, he's going to once again pick off these Void Rays. These interceptors do so much damage, and he's actually going to continue to engage onto these carriers, and I think they're all going to go down. A lot more Void Rays come up in backup, but they're going to get one-shotted here by these Corruptors, and these Corruptors just seem to be in too great a number right now. The interceptors aren't really doing too much, and the Corruptors, they stand strong, they're keeping on moving forward. 3 carriers remain, and Adonminus just doesn't have anything right now, and his 4th base is under attack once again. 2-2 lings ripping through these cannons and going to force another cancel.
Yes, it's going to be a cancel on that base, and the engagement was really, really in favor of JonnyREcco. He just pushed that right in, and I'm not sure if Adonminus can actually hold this. It's looking really, really grim, because those Corruptors can easily transition into... oh shit, I forgot what I am stupid.
Broodlords.
Yeah, Broodlord.
But, yeah, there's not that much anti-air up anymore for Adonminus, so if he wanted to go into Broodlords, he could, and, he'd still have enough Corruptors to deal with the Void Rays and carriers that are out right now. As it stands, he might very well just continue to mass Zerglings to deal with the ground army and come in with these Corruptors to shut down the carriers, because without that DPS, the lings are just going to overrun, and that's what's happening right now. The last 2 carriers go down. The Void Rays have just started to pop out, but again, 4 Void Rays they're just not going to be enough against this number of Corruptors. The 3rd base is now being ravaged by these lings as well. All the cannons going down, and as more cannons go down, the reinforcing lings are going to do more and more as the game continues on. A few zealots here to help clean things up, but now the Stargates are being camped by Corruptors, and Adonminus can't make any more air units in this situation.
No, it's looking very bad here, and I feel that actually going for the Void Race was a mistake. He should have directly go for Storm, because the only thing that could have stopped the carriers is amassing some kind of a sort of squishy unit. Well, now Corruptors isn't that squishy, but a couple of Storms will actually take care of them pretty well. So a bit of a, I wouldn't say mistake, but the build has flaws.
If he had added a Templar... Now, the thing is, obviously, Mass Carrier is very gas-intensive, but imagine he had it on Templar Archives, and imagine he's doing it now, but imagine he had it earlier. He would have been able to deal with this kind of composition a lot easier. Even Archons would have been brilliant. Ling's trying to deny the new 4th base to the right-hand side. They won't be able to right now, but I mean, JonnyREcco just remaking these things again and again, continuing to re-expand, and I mean, he's on 92 workers, so these lings, you know, they're pretty much worthless to him. He's already actually lost 212 lings this game, but it doesn't matter how inefficiently he trades, because in the end, he's going to continue to mine his opponent's economy.
Yes, and it's 4 base Protoss against let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 base Zerg. And the creep is slowly moving across the Protoss player here. And as soon as it connects, there's a highway of pink little units gonna storm against the base continuously until the resources for Adonminus is really ended.
You know, I really think what you mentioned earlier, a great Aspire right now and just make like 10 to 12 Broodlords would just be unbeatable, because he'd still have like 20 Corruptors to just kill off any Void Rays which are made, which means the Broodlords are safe. But I mean, as it stands, he's just going to continue like massing Lings at the end, and there is the great Aspire now on the way. Lings are about to get free, and the thing is, I mean, these Archons will trade very well against Lings even without upgrades, just because of the splash damage they do. So, I mean, the thing is, though, JonnyREcco, he realizes this, and he's already preparing to kind of switch out with them Broodlords. So, I mean, these Lings have just been a way to continue buying himself time and building up the Corrupt account and picking off the air units. So, I mean, I really love the way he's played this out so far.
Yes, and the bank for JonnyREcco, it's like, well, he can throw away his own army and remax.
Yeah, he's got so much, like 5k, 4k is ridiculous. He started mining off of like 8 gas geysers very early, or in fact 10 gas geysers, because he double expanded after his third base. So he's had so much gas income, and now he's on what, 5, 6 bases mining gas, and a 7th base which he'll probably be mining gas in the near future. And wow, Adonminus is moving across the map here with some Stalkers, some Archons, and I mean, you know, it's kind of scary. JonnyREcco actually makes 13 Spine Crawls, so it's probably not that scary. And now he morphs in 10 Broodlords, and this is just the answer. And I mean, it doesn't matter if he loses 1 or 2 bases here. He's already got the bank, and he doesn't exactly right now need to be mining much more. So losing this 1 base to the left, it's not really that bad for him.
No, it doesn't really matter. A lot of spines is going down trying to protect this base, but back there they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, you should just cancel them. Like, the Broodlords are out now. There's 10 Broodlords, and the Corruptors are starting to march forward with them. And I mean, the thing is, there's just not these Stalkers, these Archons. They're on 1-0 upgrades, and I mean, if they just march forward and attack, they're not going to be able. Like, the Broodlords are just in too great a number, and now he sees them, and he doesn't even have Blink to blink underneath them. So these Broodlings are just going to swarm upon them. And Adonminus, he's in too bad of a position here. A run by was denied to his 4th base. And I mean, he has picked off 1 base, but these units are cornered. They can't get out. They've got no blink. They're going to try and kill off these rocks. So these Broodlords are already looking to cut them off here by just circumventing the corner.
Yeah. And I think it was a really good read here and a really good reaction by JonnyREcco. He didn't panic or anything. He just continued, build Corruptors, counted the build really good, and now he has total map domination and are making